Hi everyone, my name is Annette Sweeney. I'm the Senior Culinary Arts Lecturer in TU Dublin Tala campus, and I would like to introduce you now to our innovative BA Honours in Food Sustainability and Botanical Cuisine programme, TU941. This is a one-year add-on programme delivered on Mondays, and it's very much a practice-focused or applied learning programme for anyone who's interested in food or growing their own food. You don't necessarily have to be a chef. On the right, you can get an insight into our new facilities. And if you're interested in more details on the activities on this programme, you can check out the Instagram page. So from a teaching and learning point of view and as a student point of view, we really focus on the applied learning, so learning by doing. So through growing your own food, through challenges in the kitchens, through challenges in other modules. We also look at applied culinary nutrition linked to growing food, to creating dishes. There's a lot of focus on creativity challenges, so getting you to think outside the box and storytelling around food. And then you have to reflect on your learning and you have to plan for various aspects of the assessments. But the big thing for us, I suppose, is this whole area of the end of year performance, which is what we call a living thesis. Very important to us as well. I mean, this programme was inspired by industry, and so we really involve and collaborate a lot with industry throughout the programme, through live learning, master classes, site visits and dining experiences. So it's very much an applied learning or practice-based learning approach to the programme and to your learning. So if we can see here some of the visuals of students growing their own food, having their own polytunnel and their own beds, and having a sense of teamwork and pride in their work. And some of these would have never been involved in growing their own food before, but I think as chefs and people interested in food, once you start growing your own food, you have a greater respect and appreciation for the food. And that's where the sustainability piece comes in as well. So if we look at some of the applied learning activities, we have master classes on fermentation. Some of the challenges would be a zero waste challenge, a plant-based dessert challenge, plant forward new product development, using wild and foraged foods, and also this idea we have a creativity challenge in there, the Charles Michel Interpreting the Earth Awards. That's a really interesting aspect of the programme as well, where you get to tell your story through food. And then there's an overall award at the end of the year for the main champion in that space. So as I said, the living thesis replaces the thesis that would normally be in a degree programme, an honours degree programme. And this is the real applied learning piece in that students have to come up with a theme based on trends that are out there, and then they have to project manage that theme completely and deliver an event, and deliver the event from start to finish, including invites and menu design and their presentation of how they're going to present the event. So this is some examples of the 2025 event, and the theme of that was Arhu, where it looked at culinary landscapes changing perceptions from different aspects of the world. That's just one theme. I suppose the recognition of this living thesis is quite innovative, and it's been recognised by the university as well as a way of, bringing sustainability alive really in the learning. So some of our alumni would be Kevin Debris from the SALT project. We have one of our graduates is involved in a forest school, bringing her learning in there, teaching young children. Another graduate is an entrepreneur as well as Kevin there. Sarah De Bruyne set up ISIM. And then we have another graduate, Teresa Keane, who set up a fermentation business and pop-up events linked to that space. We're very proud that this programme was inspired by Food on the Edge in 2015, and as a result, the chefs that did inspire it, JP Mc Mahon from Anir in Galway, Matt Orlando from Copenhagen, and Sasu Lakoman from Helsinki, they are now the patrons of the programme. So industry is really important in this programme, and You know, they inspire what we do. They keep us very much on trend. We link in with Little Crest Microgreens, McNally's Organic Farm, Wild Acres Farm, Leinster Honey, Kilruddery Estate. Jordan Bailey has given his time to the programme, to our students, Damien Gray, Cuan Green, Simon Williamson, and Odeas Foods sponsor the Charles Michel Award. So Charles Michel linking in from Mexico for this award. So we're very proud to have those links, and that helps to keep this learning very much applied, practice focused and alive. So what are the trends then that are reflected in this programme? Well, very much it's embedded, food sustainability is embedded throughout every single module. The Sustainable Development Goals are very much alive here. We focus on seed to plate and local sourcing, plant forward, zero waste or circular cooking, fermentation, preservation, various preservation techniques, applied well-being, bringing culinary nutrition in there and food reformulation in there in line with the farm to fork strategy and sustainable diets. And of course, everything is based on flavour first. So using flavours from sustainable ingredients, sustainable practices to create fabulous flavours, and then applying that in a creative way to dish design. So we constantly have our lens on these trends linked to industry and bringing this alive through all the modules. Other trends that are reflected in the programme would be this whole idea of storytelling through food and reflecting and connecting with food through our landscape, our history and our environment. And then, as I said, flavour-focused approach to healthful dish design based on food reformulation guidance. So I think another important trend is, a few years ago, Georgina Campbell mentioned that there's an increase in chefs and restaurants and hotels having their kitchen gardens. When we look at where can graduates go or what could graduates do, this is a very it's an up and coming trend, and I think it helps with that sustainability focus as well. I think when we think about Michelin have also recognised the importance of sustainability by giving the Green Star Award over the last couple of years. And in relation to Michelin stars, Damien Gray, who has linked in with our programme very much, has given, really believes in this programme. As you can see, as a chef, I'm deeply committed to sustainable innovative culinary practice. I wholeheartedly endorse this programme. This pioneering programme, the first of its kind in Europe, offers an unparalleled opportunity for chefs and food enthusiasts to immerse themselves in plant-based culinary arts, emphasising sustainability and ethical food sourcing. And the curriculum's hands-on approach, combined with masterclasses in beekeeping, foraging and fermentation, equips students with the practical skills and knowledge essential for today's evolving food industry. And moreover, the involvement of the esteemed patrons, JP Mc Mahon, Matt Orlando and Sasso Lacoman, underscores the programme's commitment to excellence and innovation. And for those aspiring to lead in the culinary world with a focus on sustainability, this degree serves as an invaluable foundation. And if we hear from one of our students now at the end of her living thesis.
What was studying botanical cuisine like for you, Eileen?
It's honestly been such a magical journey. I've learned a lot. I've expanded my palate. I've tasted a lot of new things, and it's just been a whole new experience for me. I feel like now as a chef, I know what regeneration is and what being sustainable actually means. It's a double-edged sword sometimes, but now I understand it, and I have a much more whole understanding of the concept. In terms of my work life and owning a business and being a cook, it's given me a much more bird's eye view of the whole thing and the ecosystem that is a kitchen in itself. And it's definitely something I'd recommend for anyone in the industry or anyone curious about regeneration and sustainability.
So that was Eileen, who stepped out of her business, very prominent entrepreneur, stepped out of her business to upskill. And you can hear, you've just heard there what it meant to her to take this plunge back into learning and the benefit it has for her personally, but also for her business. And so finally then we'll just hear from one of our patrons, JP Mc Mahon from Anir in Galway, on his his sense of this program and where it's going.
What was studied?
Been associated with the program over the last couple of years, that it has just grown and grown, and the more graduates that come out of the program, the more chefs and industry people that we have who are interested in, well, like what you guys call botanical cuisine. But if it's wild food or plant forward or whatever the names, I think it's really, really good, no matter what type of restaurant or type of food establishment or business you end up in, because I think the more these ideas are in the I suppose are everywhere, then the more I think we can all eat better. So if ideas like this get into the kind of main narrative of Irish food, I think it's really, really helpful that it's not just about restaurants. It's about a much more holistic thing. As Annette said, this program grew out of Food on the Edge, and it's one of the wonderful, I suppose myself and Annette talk about the effects of Food on the Edge. Sometimes they're very hard to pin down, and often it's a few years later where you meet someone who's been at Food on the Edge and they've decided to do something. So it's wonderful to see the course grow, and for so many graduates to go through it and then go on and do their own do their own stuff. I suppose, as I said, I feel privileged to be a patron as well, along with Matt and Sasu, and I think it's part of the ongoing.
So that was our patron JP Mc Mahon summing up his experience and his view on this programme at the end of one of the Living Thesis events by the students. So I thank you for listening to me. If you have any other questions, please do reach out to us. TU Dublin Tala Campus, Annette Sweeney is my name. Or you can contact the School of Culinary Arts and Food Technology, their email address there. You can also contact have a look at our Instagram page, Botanical Cuisine TUD, reach out to some of the graduates who have posted there, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully on the Tala campus. Thank you very much.